Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! Welcome to FMLFPL on.
This Walsh.
The cup has begun.
The cuppening.
The cuppening has begun. I've returned from my voyage.
Into where? Norseland or something? That sounds like you're going onto the fjords or whatever.
Yeah, 2-hour drive north.
To get inspiration for the cup from the people who...
That's not a bad shout.
Who commonly wield it.
Yeah, just recruit a child genius from Norway and be like, I need guidance. So what's up, bro?
I'm chilling, baby. Everything's nice over here in Walshland.
Love
How
that.
are you doing?
Good. Everything's good over here. Good birthday. Good time. Yeah.
It's so funny, dude, how my wife's birthday and your birthday are literal one day apart. It's the two people in my life that I care the most about.
Okay, but wait for this.
Right away.
Wait for this. My girlfriend's birthday is 2 days before yours.
Oh, get out of here.
And you tell me astrology doesn't exist.
She's August 22.
Yeah, exactly.
That is insane.
That's actually insane, right?
Wow, that is insane.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
But she's a different astrology than I am because I'm the first
is that
day
the cutoff?
of my... I know I'm the first day of my
whatever thing
bracket is, the arbitrary grouping of days and months.
Gotcha. Okay, well,
but no,
it's still
either
close enough.
Obviously that's a joke. It doesn't matter. But that's insane. That's
it's
so
really
fucking
crazy.
funny.
I forgot to tell you until just now.
Okay.
Really funny.
Should we talk about footy or just fuck it and talk about Zodiac,
the
Zodiac killer
and Zodiacs? Yeah, Year of the Rabbit right here. Whatever.
Is that what
Zodiac
it is?
Killer. Yeah, it's the Year of the Rabbit. Yep.
Is that us?
That's us.
We're different.
No, we're rabbits. You're 87, right?
Yeah.
Aren't
you 86?
No.
87.
87.
Good talk.
Good talk. All right, Team Walsh on the screen here. Really low scoring, weird game week.
What a team. Well, so far. Do you just wait until the next game? So far. Yeah, I mean, the City clean not coming in wasn't my favorite thing this week.
Me neither.
I watched just the first half, and I had to go do sports class with child.
Yep.
The first half was an actual mockery of a game. It was not a game.
Yeah, no
it
football was played.
Non-competitive half I've seen in some time. So naturally, when the game is so far gone, they concede, because it's just... that was the biggest T.
On
tilter.
Basically their first shot of the game. None of the other shots mattered. It was just
Yeah, that was a huge tilter for the weekend. But otherwise, fun weekend. Good games.
Good games.
A lot of 1-1ers. There was a big one.
No one really scored points. I'm just looking at what the elite teams have for ownership. Yeah, it's we all have Rashford. We have Saka. Then down the list, it's Shaw, 12-pointer, and even further down the list is Mara's 12-pointer, and everything else is a 1 to 3-pointer, basically,
Yeah, really low scoring. The only defense that clean was fucking Fulham, which nobody has any of their players, and Man United, who, most people either were binning or benching Shaw.
Yeah.
And obviously Liverpool don't really count.
Yeah.
So that's a weird one, right?
Well, and the thing with Shaw also is that they just nowhere near deserved a clean, but that Leeds just kind of fucked everything up.
Yeah.
Weird one.
Weird one there, but
and the Holland, the pen situation. Give me a fucking break, dude.
Yeah. What are we gonna do about such a thing? This is just the game we play. It's so fun.
We choose to play this game, by the way.
Yeah, it's great.
Not mandatory. Just choosing to play this game.
It's a by FOD. For real.
It's so hard to explain to people who don't play, like my girlfriend when I'm on vacation, to me just being like they get the pen and I'm like, okay, yeah, at least I'll get Holland points, even though they don't really matter. And then it's like Rodri picking up the ball and then Gundo stepping in to give it to Mahrez. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? She's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, this is just like, you don't even want to know.
You don't want to know.
You don't want to fucking know because I choose to play this game.
Anymore.
Yeah, and this is what fucking happens.
Yeah, it's just upsetting when it seems like there are no grown-ups around. Like, they have a set thing, and this happens all the time in the fucking footy matches. It's absurd.
All the time.
Nothing. It's just the whole pen taking thing is insane. Just leave it at that.
And Holland is elite at pens. Hasn't missed a pen.
Never misses. And he's a little tiny baby bitch pussy ass boy, so he just lets all the other guys do the thing.
Rodri and Gundo make the decision for him.
Yeah, it's insane. Meanwhile, the actual person who's in charge said, "You're the pen take, so go get the fucking ball." You
and like,
bitch.
Yeah, maybe he's hurt, but name a worse pen taker in that 11 than Mahrez. Like, of all people, you can't because he misses all the time. So
yeah,
Diaz
is probably worse, but yeah, it's whatever. Who fucking cares? But yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, I have basically the same. I mean, I got the Estupiñán 7-pointer, which is nice. Should have been a fucking million pointer.
Yeah.
Add a goal on top of that. Like, holy shit, I'm flying.
Game's gone at that point. But yeah, the goal would have been a 15.
Yeah. So,
I mean, we
talk about no grown-ups. We're talking about VAR. I mean,
oh, God, I don't want to talk about VAR.
Cole texted me about the GIF because he saw that a pod was coming.
Yeah.
And I was like, honestly, dude, like, I'm on birthday vacation. Like, I've watched a game and a half. Like, I have no idea what's going on. And he just wrote, like, what about, like, should I do one about, like, all the VAR decisions? And I was like, were there crazy VAR decisions? And he just wrote, like, ha, 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 ha. Because it's just,
sickos,
like,
yes.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, yeah, I guess that's what the game is going to be. I can't wait to find out. But I found out.
We all find out eventually.
Yeah, so I'm on a little red. I assume you're on a little red. But, you know, City Arsenal will decide the week on Wednesday. There's Champions League this week.
Tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I put together a team in 5 minutes this evening. And I have 10 million in the bank. So I have to look at that again.
10 million in the bank.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want. I'm getting all these fucking perverted guys, you know? My front line, I think I had Giroud, Dzeko, and Timo. It's like, that's good.
Oh my God. The talls and the smalls. Pros versus Joes.
It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. And then I'm like, Cancelo is like, oh. And then first thing I noticed, I opened my team and Lil Mudryk was not wearing his orange and black striped jersey on my team anymore.
I hate to see that.
That was upsetting.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. So we got a lot of action this week, and you know the Thursday pod I think will be way more relevant to game week 24 moves and that stuff. League update's not going to do it in the middle of a game week as usual. Dude, where do you want to begin? I'm living off of just highlights and stats, so
Yeah, I watched a lot. I'm good. I'm ready to talk.
Is there somewhere you want to begin?
The first thing I have to talk about. I don't know if this is going to be a surprise to you.
It's going to be.
Bob Monster.
It might be Leicester. Oh, Bob. Yeah,
unbelievable.
When he let that in.
It's unfucking real, dude. And because I almost threw some shit. It was unreal.
Part of the fun of not watching the game is just not knowing that something like that is even possible, because I see Tompkins' goal. Tompkins 0.8 goal. I'm like, oh, he got a header, off a corner scrum. He got a point blank header, something weird like that. And then I just see him watching highlights, and I just see Bob drop the ball right in front of him when he has both hands on it and no pressure. And
the first thing I did when I regained consciousness after watching that happen was I opened my team and I put him on the bench and I put Fuckford in my team for next week.
There you go. Did that feel good?
It was unreal. It's an unreal thing. How does that happen? A fucking 8-year-old catches that ball. My son catches that ball. He's not even 3.
You made the right start though. You got the +1 over Pickford.
I wish I had one. I wish I had one less point.
So that's huge.
I wish I had 1 point instead of him.
I know. I'm sorry.
That game was the biggest fucking disaster of my life in so long. Tompkins, all I was doing in Discord the whole time was talking about how bad Tompkins is, how bad March is, because he was awful, and how much I hate Bob Monster. And
then
all three of
Tompkins
them
scores,
connived.
March scores, and
Yeah.
Bob drops the ball. Yeah.
All three connived to just do like important things.
Yeah, both Kaylee and FBref had Brighton on 2.5 XG. McAllister being like the main recipient of all of that XG, which all of that was extremely surprising to me. I was like, what happened in this game? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think it was actually, so Mitoma was really interesting. Like, he was playing so wide. I've not seen him play like this before. He was so uninvolved. And
interesting.
The pervening was coming inside a lot. And
he was on highlights was unreal.
No, because that's what they were clearly doing. Like they were keeping Mitoma wide. He had one chance in the first half, Mitoma, but he was just very peripheral. And the pervening was coming inside and getting in the box a lot. It was really crazy. It was almost like he was playing. They switched switch roles. But we were talking also in Discord about this game. Interestingly, right, with McAllister getting all these chances and shots with Lallana out, he's playing more. He's just playing more forward. So and Grob was also a lot more involved, I think, than he usually was. That he usually has been. And it was a very unusual game because Brighton were almost exclusively building up on the right, and that's March's side, and he was like a 2 out of 10 every time he got the ball in the final third. Every time he got the ball in the final third, though, he like didn't complete something, missed a shot, missed a chance, held on to it too long before he passed. It was just ridiculous. And the goal, he fucking kneaded in. Like he didn't even get he was just couldn't have not scored that. Anyone scores that goal, but it was just very unusual. Like if they were building up and doing all the things on the left, which, I mean, we have Mitchell on the left. They're like targeting him instead of fucking, the shit show on the other side. And it was just really weird. Yeah. I mean, we definitely shouldn't have drawn the game, obviously. We should have lost heavily.
No chance. Yeah.
Guaita made a few really nice saves. But I mean, I think the biggest thing is just watching Brighton because without Lallana, it's a big deal. And, they do have so many doubles and so many fixtures, good fixtures to come, even though they do have a blank. It definitely put McAllister, especially with McAllister having pens, back on the radar. Yeah. And even Grob, because I think those are kind of the play. And, Mitoma, I'm worried. I was definitely worried. He's not an FPL pick. Like the way he played, he's not a pick this game.
Yeah,
so if that continues to happen, no, I know, but it's a warning sign. Like if that continues to happen, it's concerning. To me.
Yeah, for those who don't know their fixtures, I mean, they're home Fulham this week, blank in 25. Then home West Ham in 26, not so good. But then they have an insane double in 27 at Leeds, home Palace. Then they're home United, which isn't great. And then they're home Brentford, which is great in 29. So really, really good run with still 2 unscheduled fixtures that could be more doubles. So
it's crazy. Yeah. And the 2 unscheduled, one's Bournemouth. So,
one's at Bournemouth. Yeah.
But Bob Monster, just an insane human. And the best thing too, that was incredible, was they had such a good close-up shot of him. Like after they zoom in his face.
Yeah, I saw he did like a little temper tantrum, like a little throw down.
Like a little baby, because he's a little baby.
Yeah. And Pickford will come through for you.
He fucking sucks, dude. You
hate him so much.
He sucks. He's bad. He's actually
he got you an 8 pointer
bad.
last week.
Fuck those points. He's so bad. Unbelievable how bad he is.
Decent pick though. Bad but decent pick. I think Leicester, from someone who didn't watch the games, was a fucking shocking one. Like I'm driving, my girlfriend. I'm like asking my girlfriend, like, "Hey, can you like open my phone and check the scores?" And she's like, Leicester 0, Tottenham 1. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, 30 minutes later, I'm like, can you check it? She's like, Leicester 3, Tottenham 1. I'm like, who scored? What's happening? Like red card, like pens, like what's going? No, they
also had a disallowed goal, I think, right?
Yeah, they did. Barnes had a disallowed one. They just ran a fucking train.
I should not
Spurs.
have got poor Harvey. I didn't. Fucking held on to Harvey.
Yeah, I mean, we were right because he did lift the curse in terms of you're allowed to transfer him out, but lifting the curse also unlocked his just elite ability. And he's just donking.
You can
fun.
Create your own lore around that one.
Yeah, exactly.
I still, every game I see Iheanacho start I have to look at it closer to make sure his name's there, because I expect Braj to just play the worst team and start Vardy over him next game. I still expect that. He literally can't wait for the minute to sub him every game. He's their best player every game, and he just wants to rip him off immediately. It's unbelievable. It's insane. But, he is the reason. To me, it really is that simple. It's Matto's back, and he's starting Iheanacho.
Matto also,
Yeah, obviously. But, with Iheanacho's and his skills, being able to drop in and hold up and finish clinically, and his movement's so good. It's just the fact that he hasn't been starting all season while being fit is fireable to me. But there was money, so they're not going to do anything.
I want to shout out this guy on Twitter, Joe, who after the Villa win wrote to us and was like, Iheanacho actually might be a pick now, because he linked to a Braj quote that basically said everything you just said. And he said, you saw that when you have the profiles you want, the effect his talents can have on the game. He's a fantastic link player. To be able to do that, you need players to run behind, and now we have the players to do that. So it does sort of sound like there's a personnel reason, like he didn't want to bring him back in until Matto was fit or some shit like that. But oh my God, now that he's in, just him, Barnes, and Matto just all look like, okay, these are fucking picks now.
How do you deal with it? It's just so hard to deal with. I think that's
so good.
Yeah, I think that's a really loose thing from Braj to try and pin anything. Like, he's had some reason to do that.
I agree.
I don't give a fuck. Like, what are you doing instead? You're running out bullshit and you're losing all these games. You're in relegation zone.
Yep.
And
Vardy has 1,100 minutes for literally no reason this season.
Yeah, he's done nothing. He's completely finished. He's not a player anymore, and he's just been starting all these games. It's insane. Meanwhile, Iheanacho's in more or less like the prime of his career, and whenever he plays him, he scores a goal a game. Like, he scores a goal every 90 minutes basically. And it's anyway. So the unlocking of that plus Matto plus Barnes. That Leicester look like they're, Tete looks really nice, playing over there. It's like no more Albright and shit. TL's is a little injured
now.
No more
fucking what's his name? The not winger that's been playing right winger for them also. Oh, Iose. No more Iose.
Oh my God.
Get the fuck
Unbelievable.
Out of here, dude.
Go to a different country. Never have to see him play again. And, it's a big deal too that they got a left back, right? Luke Thomas is so bad. He's insanely bad. I don't.
He just should never even be in this position. Like, he's a young kid. He's never ready. He's just thrusted into this role. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And, Amarty's not playing anymore. They got the tall Australian guy who's just whatever.
Doing a good job.
Yeah, it's just, so they're definitely on the, Joel Ward's brother's still getting, blanking for fun. But they're going to just keep winning games. It's a tough fixture. They're just good again. I think we kind of have to snap back into when we saw Leicester as like that 8th place, 7th place team kind of thing,
Yeah. Especially in attack. Yeah. It's not like I'm bringing in a defender here, but
no,
I think
right.
Any of those three guys are just legit picks. And Jitterbug's question was that
Matto's on pens too.
Leicester are looking much better with the new lineup, but they have 2 bad upcoming fixtures. However, both United and Arsenal have conceded a few recently, and Leicester fixtures from 26 onwards look unreal. Should we consider Matto and Nacho now rather than waiting for the good fixture run and leaving the points on the board? So, just to kind of look at their fixtures, they are pretty bad. At Man United this week, then home Arsenal in the blank. Then they're at Southampton, which is obviously fucking god tier. And then they're home Chelsea, at Brentham. Those are fucking bad.
Yeah.
And then it's at Palace, home Bournemouth, at City, fucking bad. So they don't really have a good run.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really tough to find. The main thing I think is, though, that they're just good.
Yeah.
Matto's still really good. Nacho's still really good. They're going to have the ball. They're going to create chances. They're a good attacking team. So I don't think you need to, you necessarily have to just completely avoid them because their fixtures aren't great.
So you think bring them in now is fine?
Yeah, I don't think at United's really that bad, especially at this is a really good time to play them. They have Barca, they have all this other shit going on.
Is Casemiro still out? Yeah, he is, right?
Yeah. So, they could, they put a couple in there. What we were going to say probably, right, home Spurs is bad. They scored fucking 4.
Yeah.
Right? At Villa's bad, they scored fucking 4. They just scored 8 goals in 2 games, right?
Yeah.
So, totally. I think when the team is unsung in this way, you got to kind of kind of buy in, and they don't blank. So I wouldn't say like, oh, the fixtures aren't good enough, so I'm going to avoid. I mean, Maddison seems clearly though, right, the best pick on the team.
He is like,
yeah, I was
is he
really
a fucking
close.
superstar? Like,
yeah, I was really
so
close
good.
to having him, and I don't remember which other striker, but instead of Kane and Matoma, I was really close to having Matto and someone else in my striker spot. But I didn't do that. But yeah, Matto's
he's good. Fucking unreal, man.
He's only 8. He scores every game. He scores like, every game. I really hope
he goes to a bigger, better team.
Yeah, like Palace,
because it would just be so fucking exciting. I mean, when this team's clicking, they're great, but like they spend most of their time not clicking, so it's kind of bad. But yeah, Leicester.
What do you think about Nacho? He's 6'1".
I mean, listen, we can also kind of move this into maybe an Nketiah conversation because, again, I didn't watch the game, but like I see him with one shot and doing nothing.
And Jesus
back-to-back
really
blanks,
close.
and Jesus is coming back, and I'm just like, maybe I just missed this, and this is just a really bad pick. And I'm looking at who am I going to replace at striker, and yeah, I mean, Nacho's definitely on the list. I mean, Darwin's on the list. He doubles. Yeah. Nacho's on the list. João Felix is on the list. There's not that many guys, though. I mean, Ollie's been really good, since Emery's come in. He's on the list, but like it's not that many guys. So he's definitely on there. I mean, he's 6'1". It's fucking so cheap. He has a triple return, and then a double return.
Yeah. And I mean, we've seen this from him. This really hot, like in absolutely. A condensed period where he's just
2 seasons ago.
Yeah, 2 seasons ago, it was just crazy. He had that run of like 12 games or something to end the season where it was just every single game. And, we were all sort of like in disbelief, like what's happening. And, before the season's over. So, yeah, I mean, it could be one of those where you just want to try and ride it while he's playing well, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at that season, just like his match log. It started in game week 29 of that season. He went goal, hat trick, blank, brace, goal, assist, goal, blank, goal.
And that's the other thing too with him is that the assists are real. Like he creates so
he's
much.
Such a good chance creator. He was such a fucking good player.
He's so good.
Like, God damn it.
Yeah, his career is very unfortunate. I feel like he's
so
a bad agent.
Sad.
The fact that he's been held hostage at Leicester under this fucking Gucci belt
so sad
for 5 years is just so upsetting. Imagine if he went to like Milan or something, and he could just be vibing his life away, scoring 30 goals a season. Look at what Tammy Abraham did at Roma. Like putting Nacho at fucking Atalanta, he would score 60 goals.
Yeah. Oh my.
Like go somewhere fun. Like get the fuck out of this Midland, helicopter crash nightmare zone and go play, have fun.
Fucking hell.
It's insane. It sucks. It fucking sucks.
I do think he's a pick, but I'm very curious to hear what you think is up with Nketiah. Is he just a bad pick? Like, am I just sitting on a bad pick right now?
I don't think he's...
I mean, what's going on in general with Arsenal? Like, Haim's question was, what's your read on Arsenal now that everyone's tripled up? 3 games on the bounce, struggling to put up 1 XG in any of them.
So I have a lot of thoughts on Arsenal right now, honestly.
I'm so ready.
I don't think Necktie's a bad pick, first of all. I think Arteta is in a really tough spot where he needs to be more ruthless in his decision-making, and he needs to update his tactics and take a little bit more risk based on where they're at in the table and what they need to do. The Martinelli's an issue. We've been talking about it from an FPL sense that he's a bad pick, but at Everton, Deitch, home Brentham, these are teams that play 9 behind the ball with 2 guys counterattacking. They just try and win a set piece. Like those are their best chances, more or less.
Yep.
And they're just struggling to create, and Martinelli's a slasher, a counterattacker, a presser, but when they're playing essentially, 4-5-1, 5-4-1, 5-3-2, whatever you want to call it, there's 8-9 back there. You need more creativity and you need to overload and you need to move the ball faster. And they're having a difficult time. I think, a big part is the left back and the right back aren't really overlapping. They kind of like coming inside more. But when they come inside more, and Xhaka's, kind of doing the same thing, but he's not, as he's been doing earlier, kind of trying to play inside, but they're not passing the ball fast enough to get inside the box to try and 1-2 around these the bus. So they're just not they're just not creating anything. I mean, Trossard needs to be starting for Martinelli for me when they're playing these teams that they know are going to be sitting back and parking.
Yeah, like Martinelli against City is he should absolutely start against City. He's essential versus City. Yeah.
But like these games, but essentially, you have Xhaka as being the extra attacker. The fullbacks, it's just they're not moving the ball fast enough, and when the other teams are like they're doubling Saka or they're doing things like that, they can pull the ball inside if they can move it faster. They can find space in the middle of the zone to get some shots off in that area. They're just not. I feel like they're sort of trying to be like City when they sort of like pass around forever to just expect that it's going to come, but they don't. Like that's like kind of what I'm feeling like. It's like that's what they're trying to do, but it doesn't come. I mean, they don't have that. They just don't have that. And it's Odegaard gets some good chances here and there, but he's historically. I mean, this isn't like a 20-goal player. You can't really be relying on him to get those chances. And I think they need some either little personnel shifts where it's like 1 or 2 out. And honestly, it might be like Zinchenko's role, right? I mean, is that what he should be doing? Do they need to put Tierney in? Do they need to play White a little bit more central and put someone else over there to overlap on the right? Like they need to create and figure out a new way of kind of approaching these the way that teams are set up against them, because
I do
without
also
Jesus, it's just not happening.
This is where not Martinelli, Nketiah's been great, right? Like he's been scoring a lot of goals for them, and they kept winning until this little rut that they're in, this mini rut. And I think that this is where you see the real value of Jesus.
Absolutely.
Just his pressing is best forward in the league, probably. His passing and link up is absolutely elite. All the stuff that's not like stats, not FPL, not XG is huge.
That's the thing, is like you know what he's going to do. You know what his game is. He wants to be in the box. Like he's a striker. Jesus is a fucking animal. His in-game intelligence of where he goes, and every game is different. He literally just plays the game based on what the enemy is doing, and he goes into these spots that sometimes he's a left back, sometimes he's a right center mid, sometimes he's striker, sometimes
whatever
he's a right winger. You can't deal with that, and they've become so much more one-dimensional, and they just kind of repeat the same patterns of play, and they're not doing anything really like different. And that's the thing for me with them.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because they're obviously they have way better 11 than Brentham and Everton. Yeah. It's not even close, right? But watch the games. It's just like, dude, like you got to shake them up. You got to do something different. It's just this shit's not working. Yeah. So it's tough, but I still think he's a good pick just because I still believe that Arteta's good, and I still think that Neckty's good. And Arsenal's good, so, it's 2 games, right? They look bad for 2 games. They have a wobble. They have the City game. They probably had an eye on the City game when they were
the City game is also a really good way to like forget what just happened and just go for a game, right?
This is a completely new thing.
There's going to be space on the counter. Yeah. City defense is a fucking nightmare. Like, go get them,
Yeah. It can kickstart into a new win streak,
It can also be a nightmare, but we'll see.
Or they get passed to death and they don't do shit and they get fucking 2-0'd.
Yeah.
But
and then on the defense, I mean, Sakov said in the last pod, you said that White to Gabriel seems like a situation when there's smoke, there's fire. In the Brentford game, White seemed to go really far up the pitch. Do you really think he's the 4th best pick on Arsenal's defense because of the rotation risk? I mean, again, I didn't watch the game, so I'm just curious what you think. Like, was there more fuel to the Tomiyasu deserves a start kind of thing? Or
no.
No. Okay.
No, not at all. Not at all.
In highlights, it did seem like the center backs were bad, not way more than the full backs. Like Tony fucking had his way.
Yeah, they were. Absolutely. Well, Gabriel is bad, but Saliba had a hard game. I think it was probably a little bit of Tony's. It's interesting, right? Because they really, they really do spread it out to try and isolate Tony in those moments. And right, it's like he's such an odd combination of he's not big, like tall, but he's so strong and his movement is so good and his positioning on the long balls and aerial shit is so good that he's like just fast enough, just strong enough, plus the movement and the awareness and like his positioning. He's a nightmare. So
he's listed at 5'10", and he, I swear to God, wins more fucking aerials than any striker in the league.
Yeah, no, it's
insane.
So yeah, I mean, it's all his body positioning and his, his anticipation like of where the ball's coming. He reads the flight,
Rodman style.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Like Rodman wasn't the biggest. He led the league in rebounds every single fucking year.
Yeah, no, that's such a good comparison. It's Dennis Rodman, definitely. So, I mean, I have sympathy for Saliba in that instance, right? I mean, anyone's going to have a one-on-one hard time with Tony if you're not really giving him a little cheating help. But I mean, they were good for a goal. I mean, they weren't good for a clean Arsenal at all for that game. The way it came was obviously a joke. The fucking
fraudulent nightmare.
Referee association has to send a my condolences apology card to them or something. It's ridiculous, but ultimately, the draw was fair on balance.
Yeah. That's what the stats said too. And then we gotta talk about City. I mean, so let's just start with the defense because again they fucking dominate. They let up the only goal. Bry, Jeff, Ben, Bill's all asking what the fuck do we do with Ederson, and Jitterbug asks if we brought in Ake or Akanji, are we just idiots who have to keep them until we wildcard and basically hope for the best now? So what went down in the game? Like, I saw it was Diaz Laporte. There were halftime subs. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the second half, but
me neither.
He just threw back to old school Pepinos, right? He just played whatever. Put Diaz back in. He was actually okay.
Sub in that half.
Yeah, he was okay, but he was on a card. He picked up a card on a counterattacking thing. But again, it's just the game was not a non-game. But yeah, we're definitely back to right. They have a few different options, so it's a complete die roll to figure out who's going to actually play.
Yeah,
and that's what it is. I mean, Walker's all of a sudden 90-90, which is really weird. Like he hasn't done that since like September. But I do think that this 11 had a big eye on the next game, right? So we'll see. I think it's
interesting. Little side note, just looking up stats while you're talking is, and first of all, Bazunu is so far under his post shot XG that no one is even remotely close to him.
But why are you talking about the Baz?
Because Ederson is fourth worst in the league right now.
Yeah, which makes sense. We've talked about this.
He's been fucking really bad.
Yeah.
And the one chance every week just seems to go in. And I don't know what's going on with him, and I don't know what's going on with City, and I don't know what to do with him. Frankly, I don't know what to do with him. I mean, I know what you would do. You would get him out of your fucking team. But I don't know what to do. I'm supposed to be doing well this season, and I'm very much considering a goalkeeper transfer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should do that. I think you should still, listen to the heuristics of, that's not a good move. Right? I mean, these games are, yes, he's not playing well this season, but these games are really weird ones. I mean, there are these bizarre little, they concede one on basically nothing, and they keep dominating games. So I think you need to just stay the course until you wildcard and then reassess, especially because you don't need the money.
Yeah, I think I probably will. It's just so fucking annoying. It just shows how much, there's so much luck in clean sheets. It's just such a bad way to, give defenders points is really what it comes down to. I mean, I'm sitting here, Shaw gets a 12-pointer, and I'm like, we each have scored 3. What is this? And then that happens, and Ederson gets 2, and I'm just like, oh my God, fucking
and that's where, that's just part of the game, though. I mean, I still like it. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it to XG or some shit and have fractional points. It's then it's not even fun.
Else.
It's
there's nothing else.
Then you're looking at a stat sheet, and it has nothing to do, right? Yeah. But, the players themselves do pride themselves on clean sheets. That's a real thing, right?
The one thing that makes it a legit fantasy thing is that players and managers always talk about it, always focus on it. Yeah.
Right. And with Ederson too, right? We know that he's a 2 or 6 merchant, right? He gets 2 points. He's a fucking Bob Monster on steroids.
Kill for a 6.
You get 2 or you get 6. Like, he's not making saves. We did have a couple of blips this season where he had an assist or some bonus points, but historically he's like only 5 bonus points all year. So, if they're just coming on the wrong end of that coin flip on the one chance they give for 3 out of 5 weeks, and they just that sucks. It just
is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. But at the same time,
realistically, you look at NFL, at Bournemouth, home Newcastle, at Palace, home West Ham. After the doubles
all of those games,
I expect them to clean
5 games.
I expect to clean in every game. So
that's
why I'm not going to waste the transfer on my goalkeeper, which is the lowest scoring position by a lot in the game.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is what, we were talking like goalkeeper. We were floating this, and this I think is a good one for a goalkeeper. So in the game, this is the next year. This is the new rule. You don't pick the goalkeepers don't have any money attached to them. You don't pick the goalkeeper. They get randomly assigned to you. And if you want to change them, you use a transfer, but it's a literal random change to another of the 19 starters. So it's just, you have the 20 starters.
Yeah.
And if you want to, you just click, and you can get Bob Monster to Raya or whatever. And that's it. If you hate the one you have that much. And it's just, the budget's gone. Like, you don't have to do it. It just doesn't matter anymore. Yeah.
Because then it's really crystallized of like, well, Ederson's driving me up a wall, but I might end up with fucking, Bazunu, and then that's bad. I might get Meslier, and that's a nightmare. I might get Leno. It's just like, holy shit, I can't make this move. But fuck keeper. But
fuck keeper.
Mahrez. Yeah, Bear said, is Mahrez essential, which is obviously a joke, but like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck?
It's one of those, what the fuck. He gets assist on a corner kick, which I can't. I mean, I feel like his corner kicks are usually pretty shitty. And then he steals a pen.
And then he takes a pen off Haaland.
And he was doing the first half, he didn't do anything. Open play, didn't do fucking anything.
And meanwhile, elite teams, he's 33% owned. And top 10K.
Well, that's really low.
And top 10K, he's 40% owned.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's not that fucking low. Come on.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, I think more to the point is Kevin, dude. It's just...
Yeah.
It's not Kevin. It's not Kevin time.
The majority of the questions we got were about Kev. I mean, Gov said, is it time to accept that Kev is not the answer to any question other than who should I rip out of my team? Slim Charles said, is Kevin officially washed? And Josh said, should we just come to terms with our inability to outsmart the bald man? Just move forward with Haaland +1, maybe Mahrez. Is Kev a good transfer out now? Now that the immediate doubles are done and dusted? I mean,
he's a terrible pick. He's an actually terrible pick. And the biggest thing why he's so bad is that he doesn't have doubles. So he's going to miss the periodic game here and there. We know that. He's been very fine to do that recently. He's been playing like kind of shitty. And you don't want to have one of your midfield spots, being taken up by someone who's not like, you want to have that money and that spot to flow freely with the doubles. Like, you want to be able to target double. There's doubles every fucking week, right? You want to be able to target these spots with doublers, period. So, I think, we really need to kind of divorce ourselves from what we're used to Kevin being and what he's showing us to be over the last few games. And he's just not, he's 12-4. He's just not a pick.
Hey, you don't have to fucking remind me.
Yeah, he's just not a pick.
He has 2 shots in the last 4 games.
Yeah, he's not a pick. He's just not a pick.
It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I think that like the chalk move will be to hold him for 24 and then do him to Mo for the double in 25.
Great.
And that just seems great. So like, as much as I want to rip him immediately out of my team, I probably won't for at NFO. And I'll just wait 1 more week and make that move.
Yeah, it's fun.
But yeah, I mean, he is a fucking terrible pick. Yeah. It's fucking crazy. He returned every game except for like 1 for the pre-World Cup.
Yeah, Premier League. World Cup ruined him.
He's been blank, blank, blank assist, don't play, assist, blank, blank.
The Walloon versus, all the inner Belgian shit just broke him to pieces.
Hazard's like, try this chocolate.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this is really good. I'm going to have a lot more of this. Comes back 15 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
Can't fucking run. Can't pass.
Yeah. And then now Hazard, they just send each other peach emojis back and forth every night.
You're looking juicy, my brother.
No, you. No, you. Yeah.
Oh man, what other games should we talk about?
What other games? Let's see.
Southampton fired.
I really want to talk about that god lunatic, their manager who they fired.
Nathan?
He's so out of touch with the real world.
Tell me about him, because I didn't see a single thing about this game. I mean, I watched the highlights, but
okay. So first of all, Lamina Darby, he got a second yellow card. The yellow card, the second one was...
I couldn't tell what it was from.
It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, in highlights, all he did was jog over to the ref and then instant second yellow.
Neves said the ref told him that he thought he was someone else, basically. Like someone was dissenting or saying something and he was the closest person to him, so he gave him the card, but he didn't know who said it or what was happening. Something of this nature.
Oh my God, dude.
Either way, right? The player gets sent off on 20 minutes or something.
Very early, yeah.
So this fucking absolute moron after the game said that going down to 10 men made it unfortunate for us because it was like a free hit for them because they were down 10 to 11. Basically saying that it was bad for my team that the enemy had less players is what he was saying in the post game.
I mean, that's a great way to get sacked. Great way to get sacked.
It was unbelievable. It was actually unbelievable. It was almost as though you put a religious fanatic in front of a microphone and asked them about what actually just happened. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. I've never, ever seen or heard anything like this before.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, man.
So, his firing.
He's gone.
Unbelievable. So happy to not have him around anymore.
We couldn't have been more right when we were talking Ralph is getting the most out of this team.
Yeah.
You better be fucking sure with what you're doing. Meanwhile, they spend 80 million on players Nathan Jones wants and Lutonites and stuff.
The thing about their squad is it's actually good.
It's not that bad. It's really not that bad.
It's good. It's just good. I mean, they should be.
It's not 15th, good, but 14th. It's not relegation. It's not bottom three. Good. I don't think it's actually good.
I think it's actually good because everybody is under 25,
Yeah,
and some of them are internationals.
Cool, but they're inconsistent. But
that's the manager. That's what I'm saying. It's they just need to get a manager who can put the combination together the right way. They still don't have so much skill. They have so much ability.
Who's ever scored 10 goals.
Yeah, they have Che. They have a lot of really good midfielders.
7-goal, kind of striker. Anuachu's done it only in the Belgian league or something.
Yeah.
No, they're cool, and I like them, and I definitely don't think they have a bottom 3 squad. So I do think that that's a manager, but I wouldn't call it good. But
fine, that's fair.
But yeah, they need to hire someone fucking fast.
They bought Orsic. He's played fucking 2 minutes, and he just doesn't get a game. He's the best player on the team.
He's price dropping, right? Isn't he?
I don't know.
He's price dropped twice.
He's literally the best player on the entire team. He's just not even playing him. It's insane. I mean,
they're looking bad. They're looking bad.
I think that they could stay up, honestly. I think they have enough
in the team. Well, it's a great
team.
relegation race this year, I think.
It is. I think they have enough in this team to stay up. They just need to get someone who can put the right player, the good players together and the right things and do the things.
It's just hard to think who's going to go down. That's the part that I have trouble with, right? NFL's picking up some points. Leeds are still pretty good. Wolves are picking up points. And anyone above Wolves is a really big stretch, I think, for going down, right? Yeah, and Everton and Bournemouth. I mean, that's...
No, I mean, and make no mistake, I think Southampton are going down. If I had to bet right now, I would bet on that. Yes, but I'm saying their squad is not, right, like you're saying, is not 18th, 19th, or 20th.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think so either. But they're in big trouble.
Yeah, they're in
they're
huge
fucking 9
trouble.
Points below NFL.
Yeah,
holy shit.
They're a mess. They're a complete mess. It's I'm salivating to imagine, if Palace could actually spend money in the summer, give me 3 or 4 of these players. Oh my god!
On relegation, like a good relegation deal. Like, oh my god,
they have so many assets that are so good, dude. So many. I would take. I think if we made a combined best 11, Southampton and Palace, I think it would probably be like 8 Southampton players. Literally.
Yeah, I don't disagrave with that.
I mean, I think we would only get in the center backs.
The center backs would both get in.
Even.
I think so.
Dude, I mean, even like, maybe, okay.
The center backs and the keeper for sure, I think, for Palace.
And Wilf, and that's it.
Yeah, and Wilf.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Fucking Doucouré probably gets in there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Either way.
Anyway, what the fuck are we talking about?
I know. I'm just...
Speaking of bad teams...
Palace are concerning me. That's why I keep talking about them. I'm worried.
Dude, at Palace schedule, at Brenham, home Liverpool, at Villa, home City, at Brighton, at Arsenal.
Our team is so bad.
Yeah,
he's just not playing Eze.
A bad job. He's
just not playing Eze anymore. He's like our fucking best player. Just not playing him.
I know.
It's crazy. And he's not starting fucking Sambi. I don't know what fucking shit that is either. He keeps playing all these fucking idiots.
Yeah, he's barely played the other midfielder also. He's played like 5 minutes. So, speaking of the bad teams, Nosferatu and John wondering Wolves or Everton defense. They obviously both double in 25. I mean, I thought Everton were pretty bad today, but that doesn't really change how I feel about them. Like, I still feel good about buying their defenders. I mean, Burnley teams got fucking undressed all the time. They just also keep 10 clean sheets because that's all they go for. So, like, the performance to me doesn't really matter. I still think Pickford's a good pick. Tarko's a good pick. He's 4-2. He hit the post. Like, I don't know.
Well, I think another thing too with Deitch specifically, because he's just such a savvy operator, is he knows the games that he needs to get his team playing for, and something like at Anfield is just in this environment, game week 23 or whatever, is not one of them, right? I mean, that's such a low percentage chance that they're going to keep anything or get anything. So, like, unless if they score a goal in 10 minutes and can try and hold on for a point or whatever, right? Leeds, Villa, NFO, Brentham, like, these are the games that it's like, I wouldn't even be surprised if they just didn't even prepare for Liverpool. And they're just looking at, like, Leeds on next weekend, right? Of just like, we need 3 points in this game. Like, this is where we're going to do. This is how they're going to do, right?
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say about him that I think is a real credit that not enough managers do is he plays completely differently when they're down 1-0.
Yeah.
He's just like, no, this isn't going to work anymore. He's not the type of manager who's like, we're just going to lose 1-0 and it's fine. He's like, no, we might lose 5-0, but we might as well go for it because there's literally no point to just holding on here.
Yeah.
Which I do respect, and that's why sometimes they lose 4-0, 5-0.
And then the players
that's also
are like,
why,
hold my beer. This is what happens when you open us up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he's like, it's okay. He's fine. He's like, that's fine. We're not going to do that ever. When it's 0-0 or we have the lead, we're never, ever doing that. That's our just break glass in case of emergencies itch. So, yeah, I feel great about Everton players moving forward. Defenders only, obviously. What about Wolves?
I mean, so 25, they're at Fulham, at Liverpool.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Fulham don't usually get shut out at Craven Cottage this year, but they have also been looking a little bit more wobbly. They put a result together this week, but they do have some. They're a good team, though. I mean, they're a good team. They're fine. They have some fixtures in the for the rest of the term. We wildcard and shit, but this is it, right? They don't have another double after this. As far
and they
as
have one clean
moment.
Or 2 cleans. They have the Liverpool game where Liverpool created a fucking ton.
Right.
And they have the West End game that was like legit. Yeah, maybe a clean, maybe not, but
yeah.
It hasn't really looked like a clean sheet type of team to me.
Yeah, I would prefer Everton.
Me too. I do too. You and I always prefer the team that, like, from minute 1 they're playing for a clean sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with Deitch. I mean, he's bought so much credibility to me, and I think for you too, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
we Lopetegui is still finding his feet. He still has a lot of like changing personnel. We don't necessarily know who's very settled. Like the center back pairing's been in question.
Like Kilman, Dawson, I guess.
Midfield, attack. It's just like the whole thing is still like he knows that they're not going down. He's trying to find his feet. He's trying to, pinpoint like what is the best team. And they're still in that kind of transitional phase. There's just more of a likelihood, I think, they have a mental slip up or a blip or they concede one. And, the 2 aways are concerning. But, one thing I think that is important, though, is if you need this player for this week and you're making that decision, then I think I probably would get a Wolves player because they have home Bournemouth.
And Everton's home Leeds.
Yeah, I think that's a big difference.
It is. I agree. Although Bournemouth actually looked good in highlights, at least.
At home, Newcastle are kind of whatever. But I just think that, Leeds still attack for the whole game and have players that can score goals. And Bournemouth don't really attack that much and don't really have players that can score goals. So I think that would tip it if that were the case.
If it's your transfer this week, I think that's
and you need it
fair.
You need to start now and next.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a thing that anyone would do, but I know everyone has Trippier. Like I don't think that's a start against Liverpool.
Right.
So
I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. An interesting one, though. I mean, it is. It's always fun when there's these kind of teams that are the ones the ones doubling. Yeah, because like someone's gonna take a chance on
someone's gonna get 20 points,
20-pointer, and that's always fun. But I think that's a reasonable take from you. Harley Boys, is João Felix essential?
I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to say about João? He's so good. It's just a joke. He's such a good player.
For half that game, it looked like, oh my God, this is one of the best picks in the game.
Yeah.
And then they kind of didn't do shit for the rest of the game and didn't create anything. Yeah. And West Ham grew into it and got their equalizer or whatever. But that was like enough for me because that's still a bad fixture. Like that 45 was still enough for me to be like, he might be like the up there in forwards for like who I think people should transfer in. Especially they got the West Ham game out of the way. They're home Southampton. They're at Spurs, which maybe is not even a bad fixture anymore. Home Leeds, at Leicester, home Everton, home Villa, at Wolves, home Brighton.
Yeah.
There's not really a bad fixture in there for goals. João time.
Yeah. I mean, it's just more of the same, right? He's just a world-class player. You drop him in. And this is the same thing that also we've been talking about to me, which is they all just got there. None of these players have ever played together before, ever. Every 11, every sub, none of them know each other. They probably couldn't pick each other out of lineups, in a police lineup. And he just fucking throws Madueke on, playing all these minutes now, and Mudrik's there, and Enzo just arrived.
Kai's been so good, by the way. Oh my God.
He does everything. He's
so good.
Very, very good. But it's just they haven't played together, so they don't know. They've also not played in the Premier League. One comes from Spain, one comes from Italy, one comes from fucking Ukraine. They're just all over the place. And so getting up to speed with all of this new shit, moving to England, there's so much shit. So again, right, it's, they're going to have these moments where they look like the best team in the world for a half, and then they look like they have no idea what's happening in the next half. And, I still, I agree with you. I mean, as I said earlier, I think João Felix is one of the best players in the world, period. And he's a good FPL pick. He should be 10-5, and he's 7-5. So when that is how I feel about someone, then I'm always going to say that that's a great pick.
Yep.
It's still,
I wonder when I'm gonna bring him in. This blank is really annoying because someone like Nketiah doesn't blank. Obviously, great fixtures for Arsenal. It feels so stupid to be like, "Oh, I'll go Nketiah to João," and it probably is. But I really want to do it. Especially with the how he's been playing and how Arsenal have been playing lately.
Yeah. No, and I still also dude, Reece, this is a pick again.
Yeah, Reece is a pick. Absolutely. If he's fit, he's a pick.
It's still just ridiculous, how good the players are that they have. Watching them play. Everyone's great, dude.
600 million in January.
Yeah. Badiashile
he looks really good.
He's really good.
He looks and he's young.
He looks really good.
Yep,
Yeah,
he looks great.
And
they kept 3 cleans in a row before the West Ham game.
And they just conceded 1, right? But Koulibaly getting bombed out, like more credit in Potter's bank for that one. He just seems like he was just a terrible purchase.
And Aspel,
he's just fucking. He's part of the furniture there. But Chilwell too is like a little bit interesting because
if he starts playing,
he's subbing on. If he starts getting stars, we know what he does when he starts typically. There are suddenly a lot of picks on the Chelsea team.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know when to get them, but there will be a time.
Yeah.
Last question was John.
Spurs.
Well, yeah.
We talked about the Leicester side. Is that the last question?
Yeah, last question is just Johnny and Josh. They said, wondering, do we hold Kane? Spurs have a bunch of injuries. They got pummeled by Leicester. I think Bentancur is out for the season. Is that right?
Did an ACL.
He's fucked. Lloris is out for a while. Basuma's out. Romero. I think Romero's back actually because it was just yellow cards, right? 2 yellows.
Yeah, he's back.
So he's back. But I don't know. I mean, I didn't watch the game. Obviously, Kane did absolutely nothing statistically and nothing in highlights.
Yeah.
Is there cause for concern though?
I think there is.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think
I'm the other way.
I think that this is more to me with like the Liverpool thing when they had like all their defenders are missing and they're like, okay, all the attackers are fine. They're going to be fine. Like they might not function.
Yeah.
Really like systematically and fundamentally, they might not function because without Basuma and Bentancur's like their best player. He's like their most important player, I think, in terms of just getting the ball up the pitch, which they barely ever do anyway.
Him and Hodge, are like
but when
pairing.
But when it's Hodge and Basuma, like it doesn't really work. Like it's really bad. Those are really bad performances. And now they don't even have Basuma, so it's going to be Skip. Like they just have they have nobody there, and the Son thing is also a huge issue. It's just they keep playing the player, and he's just terrible. He's just really bad. He's not playing Danjuma. He's not playing Rich. Like I'm getting concerned about like how they're going to actually get the ball up the field and create chances, because they basically play like Deitch. Like they play kind of like a Deitch's Burnley team almost.
2 midfielders and 3 forwards.
Yeah. And they just. They try to hoof and try and create an even man counterattack and hope that Kane or whoever else shifts the ball at the moment to do the thing. And it's like, this isn't a team from FPL standpoint that I'm like, would like to have, and it's like, Kane gets these headed goals, this fucking like all this fucking bullshit. But when the midfield, which was already relying on 2, I just think Bentancur's a really huge miss.
I like him a lot, don't get me wrong, but it is only one player. Romero's back. The thing for me is just Spurs haven't been good all year. And Kane has a fucking million points.
I know, but like, how can that keep happening? They're going to get worse, and he's still going to get points.
But I mean, they might get a little worse. They probably will. Bentancur's been really good for them, but they also just got Kulu back. They're also getting Rich back. They also got Porro in there instead of Emerson. Like, I still expect the team to basically retain their level. And Kane still has 2 London derbies, followed by at Wolves, home NFO, at Southampton, at Everton, home Brighton, home Bournemouth. I'm just like, that to me is just not a player to get rid of. I mean, he had one bad game, and basically for him, that's whatever. And, most games he's still getting shots, he's still getting chances, he's still getting pens, and
I'm always I think it's a hold.
Huh?
I'm always going to jump down his throat.
Well, you have a love-hate relationship with him.
Yeah, we have a complicated relationship.
But I just think he's a hold. He doesn't fucking blank. Again, London derbies, his bread and butter. I don't know.
But I think it's also when you're looking at him contextually in your team next to Kevin.
Yeah. Joke.
He's a hold, right? But if you look at it just from like, okay, well, if you didn't have Kevin, like I'm in my team, right? Like I don't have any issues really. So then it's like, my eye is cast on Kane, right? I mean, who is he preventing me from getting? Like doublers, players that I like more, players and teams that I think are better, that kind of shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could very easily see a double switch for you in like 25, possibly of like Kane, Matoma to Mo someone. Mojow or something.
Yeah, or Mo and Darwin or something. I mean,
and
I
just
think
attack
at this
the
point,
doubles.
I think at this point, like the way I'm looking at my joke of a year, and I'm so bad at this game, obviously that's been well documented.
You're fine.
Is just like fuck everything and just aggressively attack the doubles and just see how much I can spike. Like,
we're almost talking about different things. Because for me, I'm talking about he's a hold. I'm not saying he's a fucking better than a doubler or like you're an idiot if you get rid of him. But I don't. He's not like a major problem by any stretch, I don't think. But
definitely.
If anyone's doing Kane to Darwin in 25, Kane to Mo in a double move, like great moves, I mean that's the like LR-ism or whatever of like put yourself in a position to get lucky, right? Like if you're not attacking doublers, you're not going to get the lucky random 20 pointers. That's just how it goes, So I totally like those moves. Yeah, I think you should be going aggressive for sure. Anything else to talk about? I don't think so.
What about your dumb team today? They won. That was nice. Good job.
Dude, it was great.
Hey.
Hang out with my dad. Watch my team win a game. Yeah. Everyone's going to be on Mo, right? For 25. I think everyone's going to get him in.
Yeah, well, we still have another game to see, but
still another game. Tough, away Newcastle game.
Yeah, he could have double returned today for sure.
Yep. And I thought Darwin was fucking amazing.
Well, he always is. He just doesn't do the points. Yeah, with him, it's more. I think the minutes. You're just concerned about the minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to get lucky
Bob got on. Yep.
Yeah, you just have to kind of get lucky in the 60 he plays before you get subbed off.
And that's also the big difference between Mo and everyone else on the team.
Yeah.
Midfield and attack is just, he's 180 in the double. So
I mean, they can't finish literally the entire season without getting one penalty, right?
Has
possible. That ever happened?
Probably not.
How can that happen?
Them and Bournemouth are just neck and neck right now in a historic season of no pens.
It can't
happen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking
just
know.
Can't,
Tarko was a dirty little fucking asshole today.
Yeah, I know. I mean, 25 at Palace, home Wolves, like...
Such good games.
Yeah, those are targetable. So doing something like getting 2 in seems good for that.
Yeah.
So we'll get there when the time comes.
We'll get there. Don't need to think about it this week with the at Newcastle. Don't even need to consider a transfer yet until 25. Yeah, so it's easy.
Totally.
I don't know. I think the game week's not even fucking over yet. Let's just skip our moves, right? Our teams, and do it on the Thursday.
We'll do it on Thursday for sure.
And then ass slaps. A lot of new ass slaps with the cup. So good job by all of you. Thank you for signing up. Daniel Segal, Andrew James, JC, Jordy, FBL, Arthur, Kevin Miles, Eddie Lefevre, and Ben Martin. Slap dance. Get in there, baby. Good job by all of you. Good to be back. Any last words, Walsh?
See you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow, dude. Check us out at FMLFPL.com. Follow us on Twitter at FMLFPL.com/FMLFPL. Subscribe, rate, review, and cheers!